Welcome, welcome. Let's talk about ways to increase your revenues without working additional hours. What I'm going to do is share the 7 pricing pitfalls that actually stall out your revenues or possibly even lower your revenues if you're an accounting firm owner. And I'm going to let you know, even if you plug up one of these, you'll find ways to quickly increase your bottom line. I'm Loren Fogelman with Business Success Solution. And part of what I'm going to cover today is where you might be leaving money on the table, critical leaks that actually lower your firm's profits, and pricing mistakes that will go ahead and take a hit to the bottom line. Now, we've all heard about the 4-hour work week. It's a great title for a book, but so many firm owners that I speak with, they're working 70 hours a week. 4 hours is not even realistic. It is like a far-off dream. So I know that most firm owners would love to trade in their 50, 60, 70-hour work week for a regular 40-hour work week. And if we could get it down to 30, that would be even better. The bottom line is that so often as you're growing your firm, you're doing so much yourself. You're still doing work that could be delegated to somebody who is able to do it at a lower rate than what your time is worth. And as a result of that, you end up leaving money on the table. So this is where I'm going to go in right now to the 7 pricing pitfalls that accounting firm owners tend to experience. Number 1, my biggest rant is about an hourly rate, because I feel that your hourly rate is unfair to you as well as to your clients. This means that you are exchanging time for money. Now, it's the easiest way to get paid for your services. It feels like a formula. And if you go ahead and track your time, you calculate it by your hourly rate, then you ought to be able to bring in that revenues. However, your hourly rate, because it's tracking time, it totally overlooks what's in your head and your expertise. So an hourly rate is actually going to leave money on the table. Number 2 is competing at price. You might have heard about this over and over again, but competing at price is like a race to the bottom, because there is always someone, especially when you're competing with people in another country with a lower economy than yours, that is going to be charging less money than what you're charging for your services. So you might go ahead and win new prices if you're price competitive. However, your profits, they might decline, and over time, they might actually go away almost non-existent. So once again, I'm going to say being price competitive, it trains your clients to focus on the price and overlook your expertise and the value that your firm's services actually offer. Number 3 is you give away work for free. I was just talking with a client earlier about this, who has someone that called and wanted some insights about how to be able to approach a particular opportunity. And when they asked about it, she just went ahead and did the hour and a half of research. She gave them the resources, and they were on their way saving money, but she wasn't compensated for that work. I just want to say, so many times, a quick question or your initial free consultation turns into a free information service or conversation. And that is because you deeply care about helping people. You want to make a difference. If it's a new client, you might be giving away free information because you want to impress them, or you want to quickly enroll them into working with you. But I just want to say, if you're giving away that free information, especially during that initial free consult, they haven't paid you for that information yet. And I also want to say that sometimes what happens is that you gave so much value during that initial consultation that they feel like they had their questions answered, and they just walk away and never engage your firm's services. And then you're left to wonder why. So giving away work for free is something that actually lowers your value and your revenues. Now, number 4 is not enough credentials. Let me explain this. You might feel that if you went ahead and charged more, people might give you pushback, or they might challenge why you're charging that much. What I have seen is so often, whether you are having a new business, but you've been in the field for 20 years, or maybe you have had your own firm for the last 32 years. So often you might be downplaying your experience, your insights, the way that you are able to help your clients in order for them to be able to make better decisions in their own business. So if you feel that your rates reflect how long you've been in business, but overlook your years in the profession, then that is something to consider. Clients aren't hiring you for how long you've been a business owner. They are hiring you for how well you can help them to get rid of a problem, to make better decisions, to be more profitable. So they want to know the financials. The amount of years you've been in business is secondary. Number 5 is you negotiate on price. Okay, of course, we all want clients that are high value. They are willing to pay a great price. However, you just don't know how to handle those objections when they come up. They feel like pushback, or maybe when somebody says no, you don't know how to navigate the conversation. And a lot of times it might be that you hear that your rates are just too high. So when that happens, you end up just caving in on the price, and you go ahead and lower your price in order to win a new client. But what that does is it teaches your clients that your prices are suggestions. They are not mandates that you firmly stand behind. And I want you to learn to firmly connect with your value and stand behind the rate that you quote. The other thing to look at is you could do or set what I call a walkaway price, where you know that you will never, ever, ever do any work below this particular price. As a result of that, it's kind of like poker. Sometimes you just need to know when to fold your hand, get up, and walk away from the table to avoid losing your shirt. Otherwise, you find that you just bargained it all away, and as a result of that, you're losing money to close a deal, but you really aren't being very profitable with the client that you're enrolling. So recognize that negotiating your rates actually leaves money on the table. It is a disservice to you, and it actually, once again, undermines your expertise. Number 6 is you don't want to brag. Now, nobody wants someone who loudly brags about how they're the latest and the greatest, and they are going to smoothly make all this difference for you, and that your world is going to turn around so quickly. We don't believe those pie-in-the-sky claims. We've seen too many of them, and that some people talk the talk really well, but they can't follow through on delivering that particular service. So people have been burned over time, and you don't want to be one of those people that brags. However, it's important that you educate people about why they ought to engage your firm's services instead of going in some other direction. So once again, you want to find a way to be able to help them connect the dots of why they ought to engage in your services, but do it from a place of education instead of bragging. And then the last thing is you are unsure of the problem that you solve. This is where so many firm owners get it wrong. And it took me a while to understand it as well. But the problem you solve differs from the problem that your clients want you to solve. Let me just say that once again, the problem that you think you solve is different from the problem that your clients want you to solve. And what you want to do is really understand what they want you to solve, what is that priority to them, and show them how your firm's services is going to resolve that particular problem. Focus on what they care about, what they claim is the primary issue, and that's going to be a much better way to go than telling them about all the different things that you can do for them. And let me just go through the 7 pricing pitfalls for firm owners really quickly. Hourly pricing, competing on price, giving away work for free, not enough credentials, negotiating price, don't want to brag, and you're unsure of the problem that you solve. Okay, you now heard all the 7 pricing pitfalls. Which one stood out for you? Which one is like top of that list? And just become aware that there is a solution for each and every one of them. And then go ahead and start to think about how you might want to plug those money leaks. Reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation about how that might happen. And all you need to do is start with plugging up one of those money leaks. And then as you do that, move on to the next one. This is about consistently making adjustments recalibrating something, getting it to be more effective than what it currently is in order to continue to raise the bar as far as the value that you bring to your clients and the profit margin that you have in your firm without feeling like a slave to your business. Do this, and over time, you're going to take that 70-hour work week. It will go down to a 40-hour work week. It might even go down to 30. Definitely doable and possible. Something I love getting behind with my clients. If you want to determine where your rates ought to be, then grab my free Raise Your Rates calculator to give you some of those insights. It's at businesssuccesssolution.com/calculator. Once again, if you want to know where your rates ought to be, grab my free Raise Your Rates calculator, businesssuccesssolution.com/calculator. Loren Fogelman, showing accounting professionals how to double their income, working half the time.